famous speech from the steps of Old Parliament House was the climax of a drama-filled day, which had seen Sir John spark a constitutional crisis, using his reserve powers to sack Mr Whitlam and install coalition leader Malcolm Fraser as caretaker Prime Minister.
The shock of 1 minute you're a tall poppy, if you like, riding around in VIP jets, and the next minute you're queuing up for a bus.
Kep Enderby was Attorney General under the Whitlam government, who vividly remembers being called to the lodge at lunchtime on the day of the dismissal.
He had already started to have his lunch, and when he met me at the front door of the lodge, he was chomping on as only Gough can, on a great piece of steak. As he said somewhere later on, I think, the condemned man ate a hearty breakfast, except in his case it was the other way round.
And Bob Hawke, then President of the ACTU and National President of the ALP, was also caught unawares.
So where were you when the news broke?
I was sitting in a pub in Melbourne just about to demolish a beautiful big T-bone steak when the proprietor of the pub with whom I was dining had a phone call next to him, picked it up. I saw his face drop. He said, "God," passed it over to me, his daughter. Gough's been sacked. So I didn't eat my T-bone steak. I went back to the office. I ticket, got straight on the plane, went to Canberra.
Mr Whitlam has at all times adhered to the tradition of the Westminster parliamentary tradition, which has been adhered to for 200 years, and that is that the People's House provide the government, no one else.
Can you tell me about the rage that was felt by Labor voters?
They were understandably profoundly upset and annoyed and angry about what had happened, and they were there to express their feelings.
The ensuing crisis took the country to the brink, and for veteran newsman Peter Harvey, it would prove one of the biggest stories of his career.
Everybody knows where they were and what they were doing on November 11, 1975, just as people of my age know where they were and what they were doing the day John F. Kennedy died, the day man landed on the moon. It's right up there with them.
Does Gough Whitlam harbour resentment?
Oh, I think he does against Kerr, because he was trapped. He was ambushed by Kerr.
The coalition, led by caretaker PM Malcolm Fraser, went on to win the December 1975 election in a landslide. But time, they say, heals old wounds. And even Bob Hawke, it seems, can find some polite words for a political foe.
Malcolm is now unrecognisable from the Malcolm of the past, and that's a great improvement.
If there was going to be any good coming out of November 11, 1975, it would have brought forward the day this country sorted out its constitutional arrangements, its identity, and its links with the monarchy. It would have brought forward the day when Australia became a republic. Well, 25 years have gone past, and here we are, still the same.
But democracy will be preserved.
A quarter of a century on, Gough Whitlam, Malcolm Fraser and Australia's democracy have all survived the events of 1975. Sir John, however, did not.
However, life is wonderful for all of us.
He was booed and heckled wherever he went, finally stepping down in 1977 and living a life in exile before his death in 1991.
Anna Lee Taylor there with that report on the dismissal of the Whitlam government 25 years ago tomorrow. Coming up next on the Today programme, the return of...
Near a ski resort.